Hey everyone, this is Jason here at Grand Slam. Sorry I missed you last week. I've been super busy with all sorts of stuff, but I promise things are going to be a little under control. We're going to do 2 videos this week to be able to catch up. This first video is actually just going to be my normal weekly thing, but we're going to exclude all of the Secret Wars books, so I'm going to have a separate video for that. So let's just get right into it. Got a lot of stuff going on. Comics are really exciting right now. June is just around the corner. June is going to be crazy, so let's finish up May. First and foremost, Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, number 12, the final epic finale issue. If you haven't read Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, do yourself a favor. Please check this book out. This is a good run. Trade paperbacks. I'm hoping they're going to be an omnibus, all 12 issues put together. It's going to be a great series. Some of the best comic art, really cool writing. If you like Iron Fist or like martial arts or just really like cool comic books, this is a good one to get. Another one we got coming up here is Hawkeye. I've been really digging this series. Now, Hawkeye was super popular with the Matt Fraction run, and it still hasn't finished yet, by the way. Just to be clear, we all know that the newest issue hasn't come out. But the all-new Hawkeye, this is issue 3. We're kind of exploring Hawkeye, Clint Barton's past, and we're also on a current mission. And the current mission art kind of looks real, like the current series for Hawkeye, whereas the flashbacks here is beautiful art by Ramon Perez, who's one of my favorite artists. He was actually at the Colorado Comic Con. I missed him because I was doing stuff. So anyways, Hawkeye, really cool book. Definitely check this one out. It's a good read. Moving right on to DC, I only have one book I want to talk about, and that's Convergence. If you haven't been reading Convergence, my take on it is pretty simple. The first half, not really that great. It was very confusing and didn't really do much for me. But now that we've seen these characters of Earth 2 develop, now that I've kind of had some time to spend with them, the story really picked up at around issue 5 when the hijinks started to happen. Now we have a final conclusion. What does it all mean? That light looks really cool. That's Hal Jordan Parallax in the middle. We don't know where this is going to go, but it's going to end with some dead people and probably some cool, crazy shenanigans at the end of it. So I'm really looking forward to number 8. If you haven't read Convergence, I would definitely check that one out and try to read all of the other ones. I'm not going to talk about any of those other issues because, 1, I don't really know that much about them. And 2, if you liked them the first time, you'll like the second month of them. That's kind of the way that we've been treating that. So we have plenty of them on the shelf, especially at our Greeley store. We have a whole section dedicated to Convergence. So please check those books out because in a short amount of time, that's going to be overwhelmed by the new books that are coming out. So these are going to be books that you're going to want to hunt down later on to experience those really neat stories. So that's all I have to say about DC this week. I got a whole slew of indie stuff I want to talk about. Well, this next one I can't talk about. That's right. This is the sequel to Fight Club, the movie/book. It's actually more based on the book. Chuck Palahniuk, I think that's his name, he's actually the writer of this book, and this is his written sequel to the first Fight Club story. So this is very exciting. It's rated R. It's probably got some really cool stuff in here. So I'm definitely looking forward to Fight Club 2. That's going to be a lot of fun. We also have the long-awaited Sandman Overture, number 5. The last issue of this probably came out 7 years ago. So now we have this new issue that's coming out. And if you haven't really experienced the Sandman Overture, the art is very beautiful by J.H. Williams III. It's definitely worth a book worth checking out. One day, maybe when it's all collected, you too can experience it. And if you've never read Sandman before, we've got all those books as well. Alan Moore has a new book called Providence. I can't really say too much about this except that it is kind of a H.P. Lovecraft horror type story. Definitely want to check this one out. I think this is a really exciting book. It's not often that Alan Moore actually does stuff anymore because he lives inside a tree and he doesn't really do many comic books. So this should be one that's going to be good. The last one I want to talk about is based on a movie. This came out last week, but I wanted to pop this one. If you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, please do yourself a favor. Check that movie out. This is a comic book, probably depicting some of the stuff going on before it. I haven't quite read this yet. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. It's actually, I think it's partially written by George Miller. The story is actually by him, so he's developing his world. You get to live inside George Miller's world, which is a great place to be. So those are my books for this week that I wanted to talk about. I hope you found some of them interesting or might be insightful and you might want to go down to your local comic shop. You can always come down to Grand Slam at 1730 West Eisenhower in Loveland, Colorado. Or you can go check out our Greeley store in the University Square with the King Supers in it. Until next time, I'm Jason, and this are my Grand Slam picks for this week.